Hello and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are talking about basically wrapping up a phase and going into the next phase. So if you're watching when I'm uploading, this is wrapping up 2023 and what's in store for us for 2024. But it's a timeless message, so this might take some time, our wrap up. It might be a month or two on our wrap-up phase, and basically the things that you need to do so that you can open up and look forward to beautiful things going on in the next year. Okay? Any questions? Type them down below. This is a pick a card reading, so that means you get to pick a card, the number, the object, the deck, whatever appeals to you, whatever is sparking that intuition, whatever is you're looking at and you're like, ooh, I'm drawn to that. Go with it. I have the timestamps down below in the description. You use your intuition to pick the card. I'll put objects here in a moment. And then you meet me at your reading, and then I use my intuition to read the cards for you. So let's look at the objects. For group number 1, and this is the Tarot of Mystical Moments, we have, this is Labradorite, and you can see the flash there. It has sometimes blue, sometimes gold flashes in the light. So Labradorite is for group number 1. These are all going to be palm stones today. For group number 2, this is Golden Art Nouveau. The stone that goes with it is Dendritic Agate. For group number 3, if you're interested in working with angels, this is Angel Wisdom Tarot. Angels come up because they're on the deck. So if you're not into angels, this is not the deck for you. Group number 3, and the stone is Sardonyx. And for group number 4, this is Ethereal Visions, and the stone crystal that goes with it is Tree Agate. If you're still not sure which group is for you, I'm going to do a breathing exercise, and I invite you to do that with me. I'm just going to close my eyes, just be comfortable in my seat, be here in this moment. Take a deep breath in and release. We're releasing out any tension. We're setting the intention to get the messages you need to hear. Take another deep breath in. And release. Go ahead and open your eyes, and wherever your eyes are drawn, that is the group for you. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you at your reading. Hello, group 1. We've got this beautiful piece of Labradorite, this Labradorite palm stone. You chose this, the number 1, you like this deck, whatever reason brought you here, welcome. Let's start talking about wrapping up, kind of like the next 2 months, what to wrap up so that we can look for something new and beautiful. So first of all, let's start with the lessons in your life that we have learned and that we want to incorporate, that's going to be helpful to move forward. And right now it's lessons of the past year as we're going into this next year, or like I said, when we're going into this next phase. If you're watching this outside of the time I upload it, is all about our personal thoughts, almost our personal feelings, but Swords is more about our thoughts, how we control those thoughts, how we control those actions, and it is in control here with the King of Swords. You are the master of your own mind, and sometimes that is very difficult. It's a very difficult thing, and a lot of times, our mind can run wild. This is being very logical. This is learning to be logical, learning to control that logic. When we feel those emotions bubble up, we don't want to suppress them. That's not that's not control. Suppressing things isn't control. Control is acknowledging them, seeing it, feeling it, What is it? And then questioning it. A lot of questions here. What does this mean? Where is this taking me? Why is this happening at this time? So almost like that what, where, when, why kind of thing with the King of Swords. And sometimes we are afraid to ask those questions, and that's why we suppress it, or we think that if we ignore it, it's going to go away. The King of Swords is headed head on into those things. The brave front, using logic, feeling those emotions and letting it carry us forward. And what can you expect next year? So what is it supposed to bring you? Learning these lessons, what can we expect? I love that we have the Empress here. First of all, this is a big year, pivotal moment that we're going into. So this transition is really important. This is almost like a grown-up transition. And I feel like there's a lot of times when we just hit the next level, we always think, okay, I'm 18 years old, I'm grown up. But if you're older, you know what it's like to then be maybe 21, 25, 30, that we are growing and progressing and becoming more. And a lot of times we think in the moment, like, geez, how can I be more than I am right now? But it's just about almost this very calm, sweet energy that we're getting with this Empress here. And just allowing things to bloom and unfold. Like, this next year is big. This next year is blooming for you. It's about creation, creativity, birthing something new. Look at how beautiful this card is. So her dress has all of these beautiful blossoms here, just bubbling up to the surface and allowing that, you know, because we're not suppressing anymore. We're using the things that have gone on in our life, even if it's been negative and traumatic, facing that and using that and becoming stronger for it. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a baby. However, you know, if you are in the family planning stages, if you are looking for that, if that is something that is your goal, the Empress is one of those cards. Like, if I am doing a reading about family planning, like, this is a huge sign of children coming your way. If that you're not in the planning stages, that's great too, because the Empress is just somebody who creates everything. Everything that she touches, like that quintessential mother that just makes everything better and more beautiful, that secret ingredient of love. And I'm just feeling like, you know, not necessarily radiating love here from this King of Swords, but getting everything in order so that we just open the slate, we open it up, we open up I'm hearing balance book here for some reason. Abundance is also, like, I'm not necessarily like that balance book, that money, like not on the nose money, but abundance. Resources just start stepping forward from you. You may not have $1 million in the bank, but you know a guy, you know a person that can hook you up or help you out, or you're not going, you know, you're not going hungry, you're getting your needs met here with this Empress. So that's a beautiful thing for the next year. I mean, everybody wants that type of energy, and the Empress is a major arcana card, so even more bigger on that in that respect. So an obstacle to this great wealth and abundance, we get the Two of Swords. You might be facing some decisions. I almost feel like you can't make a wrong decision. I'm hearing that song from Rush. I know, classic rock here, but it's if you basically, I'm going to paraphrase because I can't come up with the exact lyrics, but here we go. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. The only thing that can knock you off of the abundance for the next year is just sitting there and doing nothing. Sometimes we look at, you know, this side and this side. We think the grass is greener on one of the sides or the other, and we sit here looking back and forth, the pros and cons. I don't know what to do. Where should I go? Blah, 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 all the time, feeling like opportunity is passing us by, but which way do I choose so that it doesn't happen? It doesn't matter. As long as you make a choice, it doesn't matter. You will, like, taking those steps forward is pivotal. That's what's really important. So that's why this is the obstacle. You have to, quickly assess what might be right for you. You're not going to know what's right or what's wrong until you make that choice. And then once you do, if it's not the right choice for you, it still has value for you. And then you can be like, oh, quickly decide and determine, oh, wrong choice, I need to go the other way. But when you're sitting here in limbo, that's not happening. You're not getting that expertise, you're not getting that experience, you're not getting that knowledge that you really need to move forward, like we need to move forward here, to get this beautiful abundance. And it almost is, I don't feel like there's a great effort into this, and a lot of times we feel like we need to put a great effort into it. So that might be something that's holding you back as well. A strength, something that is coming out strong for you. Whoa, what did I say? Abundance. And now we get the King of Pentacles. A lot of big king energy here for your next year. Wrapping up now, rolling into that next year. And look at, we've got the King of Pentacles. This is money. Look at him standing on top of this stag. He has conquered something. He's conquered the world. Maybe something that you thought was unconquerable. And part of that unconquerable is just like that whole sitting on the fence, thinking, oh, I can never do this, so maybe so when you second guess yourself and you rethink yourself over and over and over again, instead of just being like, you know what, I gotta go and slay this dragon, I gotta go and make it, I gotta go make it right, I gotta go do this, that is where you really get this richness of experience. There is a little bit of the King of Pentacles, earth. So it's slow going, slow grinding kind of thing. That's why I was like, this almost like allowing, it almost may not feel like you're putting in a lot of effort, but it's just that you've done it over time, and then you reach a position where you're like, holy cow, how did I get here? Or wow, like I really accomplished a lot. And it's just by steadily moving forward and pushing it forward. I also love this particular King of Pentacles, where he's standing on these antlers here. It's almost like standing on the shoulders of giants. So don't underestimate the value of somebody else who you admire, who's gone through the same things that you have gone through. Inspiration-wise, that's great. Experience-wise, that's great. And I mean, a lot of these people have had some like major setbacks, which just might be holding you in place here from moving forward. But I feel like they're meant to inspire you and push you forward and help you with that expertise. So definitely within the realms of money and career and abundance here, almost that like Noah guy. Remember when I said that Noah guy kind of thing? That King of Pentacles, like he knows a guy, he knows a person, and uses it and pushes it forward. Any type of advice? What kind of advice do we have coming through here? Look at this Wheel of Fortune. So now we've got two major arcana cards, two kings, a lot of energy coming forth here as we're wrapping up what we're working on right now and looking forward to next year. Remember that we have ups and downs. Remember, I think that there's a certain element, well, there is a certain element of karma that goes on here with the Wheel of Fortune, but there's also a certain element of intent, putting that intention out there that you do want this abundance, you do want this wealth, you are seeking this almost security, I think, as well. It's interesting though with the King of Pentacles here, because he's standing on some antlers, and this buck, if he were to shake his head, like, could go flying. So this King of Pentacles, I mean, maybe he knows what he's doing, but it doesn't feel like it's the most secure position. I feel like there's some other card, you know, so the Wheel of Fortune, we've got these gears turning, we've got them rolling, we've got them going. It's also interesting, she's holding a pocket watch, so this is almost like time will tell. And we've got these ups and we've got these downs, and it's about floating with that, flowing with that, and still coming out on top. So that is the advice. Just go with the flow. This too shall pass. What's for you is for you. And then, oops, that was like half the deck. Let's get on a flow here with our navigation, how to navigate this, how to get what you want. Wow, we get the Knight of Pentacles. So this is just that slow and steady, that progress is progress. Keep going energy here. You're going to look up and find that you've done like something really amazing. Knights are always moving forward. The Knight of Pentacles, though, he moves he moves forward the slowest, but the advantage of that is, like, as he's moving forward, he can make adjustments in his path. Some of these other knights, they move like very quickly, and they just get to a place where they put in a lot of energy and it's not where they want to go, not where they want to be. The Knight of Pentacles, he's got his eyes open, he's looking up at the horizon, and he's moving and he's moving, and he sees, whoop, there's an issue over here. I'm going to adjust my path around it. I'm going to get around these obstacles, and I'm just going to keep going. The Knight of Pentacles often reminds me of a running back. So many of these great running backs, you see that they average like 3 yards a carry, and that doesn't seem like a lot, other than you get 4 downs, and 3 yards a carry will give you 12 yards, which means that you get a first down every single time if you give it to this people. And sometimes, though, you know, when haven't quite got that first down, you might feel like you need to change up your game plan and do something else. But this is really sticking with that program, really sticking with your plan and just pushing it forward and appreciating all of the forward progress that you are gaining. And then sometimes, seemingly out of nowhere, a running back just breaks one for like 80 yards, and it's really amazing. But the reason why is he just keeps moving forward. He keeps those feet moving. He keeps pushing. He keeps going. He keeps grinding. So there's a lot of grind here, and there is also a lot of trust here. Both of these cards, the Two of Swords and this Wheel of Fortune, ask you to trust yourself, to maybe trust your process. I feel like when we have this King of Swords here, when we talked about like those lessons learned, that's part of it, to trust yourself, to not let your emotions run wild, and you have this sense of self, of where you want to be, this victory, this money that you're going after, this career, maybe it's a career change or a job that you're getting, and you keep going for it. You keep grinding forward and getting what you want to do. The Knight of Pentacles also kind of reminds me of, this seems to be popping up a lot. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was a tweet, or I don't know what they call it now on X. But anyway, where this woman's like, she told her mom, she's like, I don't know if I want to be a doctor because I'm not going to get out of school until I'm 29. And her mom says, you're going to be 29 anyway. You may as well be 29 and a doctor. Like, just because the time is going to pass anyway, you may as well go after and seek after what the things that you want. And when you do that, beautiful things happen. So that's what I have for you, Group 1. I wish you a wonderful day. Thanks so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, Group 2. This is our Dendritic Agate. This is our number 2, our Golden Art Nouveau. Well, for whatever reason you chose this group, thanks for being here. Let's take a look at what's going on. So first of all, we're going to start with lessons. Lessons so far learned this year, or so far learned this period. something that you should be taking away from right now that's going to help project you into the next year. So what are the lessons learned here for, wow. Okay, I'm just going to pull this out. Lessons, oops. Okay. Lessons learned. We have, this is a Major Arcana card. This is our lovely High Priestess. She is in the middle of kind of like, you know, logic and magic, and she holds ancient wisdom. She is connected with intuition. So this is about following your intuition. And then also like lessons learned, I feel like, so this is a major lesson learned here, but a minor lesson learned. And the reason I pulled this card, even though, you know, it was upside down, because I just shuffled this deck for this reading, so she came out for a reason. She's really important. She needs to be here. The other lesson learned here is, I feel like when we have the Six of Pentacles, that you have been putting a lot of money or time or effort, something, but usually something tangible of yourself into other people, and it's not being returned. It's not being valued. Sometimes even just a thank you is enough. And the lesson learned here is that, you know, sometimes we have to pull back from that. Sometimes we have to put ourselves first. And I love the Six of Pentacles. I want to, you know, I want to put out beauty into the world. I want to be able to hand out money if somebody needs it, but it's a reciprocal energy. It's a pay it forward kind of thing. And sometimes, unfortunately, we are putting it forward and towards people who do not deserve our time, attention, and energy and money. Sometimes those are families, sometimes those are people who are friends, sometimes it's a lover. And you know, relationships aren't 50-50, they're 100%, and they are putting it in there. So there might be other places that your attention is better served than in this relationship that we're talking about right now. Let's talk about next year. What can you expect next year? Geez, we are just getting out all sorts of cards. I only wanted to get one card, but two come out, and we get the King of Swords, and then we get the Devil reversed. The Devil reversed, sometimes this Devil card is kind of scary, and if you look at the imagery, you can see why. But I love that we've got the King of Swords here, especially when we've got the Six of Pentacles and the Devil reverse. This is being attached to things, to people, to substances, that maybe it can be a codependent relationship, maybe it can be like heroin if it's to the extreme. I don't think anybody's addicted to heroin here, but this is attachments, addictions, things that are holding us back. When we have it in reverse this next year, you're learning your lesson, you're putting boundaries around yourself, you're cutting things out, you're cutting things off, you are lightening your load, basically. I love that for you, actually. I feel like you have been drained. I kind of feel like you haven't been listening to yourself and your inner guidance. And I love that we've got these two cards here. I love that we have the High Priestess with this King of Swords. It's kind of like a balance between our thoughts and our emotions, our gut and our mind. Like, what is our head telling us? What is our heart telling us? What is our gut telling us? Our gut reaction. When we have situations here like the Six of Pentacles reverse, when we have the Devil card coming up, it is a lot of clutter. It's a lot of noise. A lot, and almost like some confusion. I almost feel like you have somebody in your life who is trying to confuse you about things. Sometimes like narcissistic narcissistic relationship will show up where they're like, no, you're the crazy one. Like, it feels like there's some gaslighting going on here for you, that you have been putting in so much, and this person is just trying to take and take and take. I just feel like you rising from that, almost like a phoenix, rising above it and getting out of it. For some of you, for a lot of you, I feel like this is a romantic thing. For others of you, I feel like this might be a familial, or a friend, like a friendship. In any of these relationships, remember, we need that back and forth. We need that going back and forth. Your needs are not being met, and that is why you feel tired. That is why you feel drained. That is why you feel like you need to focus on yourself. And when you go and focus on yourself and you let people know what your needs are as you're focusing on yourself, and all they can talk about is themselves and how you are ruining their life by focusing on you, they're the wrong people to have around. A true friend, a true lover, a true, somebody who cares about you would be like, oh, okay, I love all the things that you give me, and I miss all those things that you give me, but I 100% understand that you need to focus on you. And it might be difficult for me right now if you're not taking up all my burdens, but I get it. And the other thing is, when you're fixing their burdens for them, like, this is a life lesson thing that they need to go through. And so I almost have this like savior energy around you. Like, you come across as like this very, I think you have a lot of inner strength and kindness to you. And when you see somebody in need, or you see somebody that you think you can fix, and you start putting energy towards that, you're actually, even though they may enjoy it, doing a disservice to them. They need to figure some things out on themselves. It's not nearly as crazy or chaotic without you as they make it out to be. It's just that they have gotten this attachment to you, and they really want your energy. But I feel like they steal it. I feel like they steal your energy. Let's see. Is there any type of obstacle to this that's going on here for... work might be an obstacle to some things. I don't... maybe working with them is an obstacle. If this is somebody that you work with, or you have to work with, family-owned business, maybe your partner and you are trying to pay bills together, that's going to be difficult for you to kind of open up and work on yourself during that situation. But working with others is kind of difficult when you're focusing on yourself. So just keep that in mind. However, let's talk about your strength in this situation. We have the 7 of... I'm laughing because look at all these pentacle cards, man. 7 of Pentacles is your strength, I think, is patience, even if it doesn't seem like that right now. The 7 of Pentacles is you have put in the work. I will tell you that. You have put it forth, you've put in the work, you've put in more than enough that you need to do. I feel like if there's anything lacking in a situation, that is this other person that needs to put in the work. And sometimes that's difficult. I'm thinking of like my group projects in college where you've done your effort, but still, you're waiting for somebody else to put in their effort and they have done nothing. It kind of has that kind of feeling, and you are waiting for something to bloom and blossom, but when you're the only one, again, in those relationships, it's 100%. It's not just you putting in everything and doing all the effort and them nothing. That's only 50%. When you're the one doing it all, that's an F. So when things don't feel like they're blooming the way that they should, when your effort doesn't really seem to be coming through, it's because you've got this anchor here that's holding you back. And I'm sorry about that. We don't want that anchor. That's why we're doing this reading. But then that, again, I feel like these 2 cards are also in reverse, and then these 2 cards here that represent you are such a strength because you're moving through it and moving past it and moving forward from it. Advice. What advice do we have? We have the Hermit, but the Hermit comes out in reverse. So your advice is you don't have to go through this alone. There are other people around you that are going to be more than happy to step up and help you through that. Don't feel like you need to be an island. Don't feel like you need to hold your emotions back. I do feel like you need to explain how you feel to this person who has been mooching off of you. However, it may not be met with the most positive response, so be prepared for that. And sometimes that leaves us thinking that there's something wrong with us. I feel like there are other people out there though, friends, family, co-workers, you know, just that like that co-worker that is always there for you, that will, you know, they know how valuable you are, and they're like, I've been telling you forever that this person is toxic. You can't always trust what's from their mouth, but I feel like there are observers to the situation that when you feel like you're crazy, because I'm telling you, I just feel like there's a lot of gaslighting in this situation. Again, the positive, I kind of feel like this is what's wrapping up these next 2 months, this end of the year, so that things can really blossom for you next year. And yeah, let's get those are advice, navigation, how to navigate this. Whew. Okay, yeah, you don't have to fight anymore. You don't have to carry the burdens. You don't have to fight anymore. We're just releasing it and letting go. The 5 of Pentacles. Look at all of these Pentacle cards here. I almost feel like there's something going on with your finances being attached to this person as well. 5 of Pentacles, even though it is one of those cards where you feel like in this moment you're in despair, as there is light and help around you. There's warmth, and I get it. Like, this almost feels like, even though there's no Cups cards, which is interesting, it's just all, you know, Pentacles here, and then almost like a loss of motivation with the Wands. But this feels like a breakup. It feels like you have been burdened and carrying this forever, and you have been the one who's kind of been the lone fighting for it. Even if the other person says that they have been fighting too, and you're looking at this and it's like, I can't handle it anymore. And that is okay. That is more than okay. I'm going to get one more card about after all this period, the future of this situation for you. Look at that. Yes. So you are here, a lot of chaos going on around you. There are people here that want to help you, even if you don't fully see it at this exact moment. There are people who want to be there for you and allow you to lean on them. And then, like, all of this, like I was saying, like these Pentacle cards, you come out on top. Like, I almost feel like your credit score is going to be soaring. You're going to see this immediately impact your living situation, moving past this toxic person, setting these boundaries, being strong enough to do that. You then become, because you're not attached to them anymore, you become master of your own money situation. The King of Pentacles, like, he has been through it. He knows what it's like to be in those situations, to be on the ups and to be on the downs. So now that he's moved through, he's mastered, he's in control of his own destiny and destination, in control of money, in control of his household. And you, even though I kind of feel like you have been putting in all of the work with this, not setting those boundaries and with these attachments, it feels like you feel out of control, even though you're the one doing the work. So if you're putting in the effort, you are doing the work, you are the one making all of the, taking on all of these burdens, making all of the decisions. You should be the one in control of it. And you are stepping up and becoming in control of this destiny for next year. You are the one who is deciding things, and it's very exciting. And then this, I love this king energy with the King of Swords. You're very dip into this logic. Remember, because I feel like there's going to be some chaos surrounding you for a little bit when you put in some boundaries and you cut people off. Light at the end of the tunnel. I almost feel like, other than the emotions and the almost threats that are surrounding you, like this chaos with this person, that you standing out, where was I going with this? That like you're going to be almost immediately in a better situation, living situation and financial situation almost immediately. However, you're going to have somebody telling you that you aren't. Trust yourself here. Again, the logic and the emotions, that balance of that logic and the emotions for you. So that's what I have, group 2. It just feels like there is a lot of things that wrap up here pretty quickly, and it can be like emotionally draining, but I feel like financially you're going to be in a much better situation cutting this toxic person out. This may even be a boss that you've been working really hard for them and you're just not seeing your efforts come through, and it's time to stand up for yourself and get something better. And that's what I see. So that's what I have for you. As far as once this is, again, because I kind of feel like this can right itself pretty quickly. However, there's a lot of chaos in it. So once it clears up, almost the sky's the limit for you. And we'll be doing another reading in a couple months here for that, setting those intentions for the new year. And I feel like, you can basically do whatever you want to. You can write your own check without this extra baggage and this almost hostility. I'm sorry, you shouldn't be dealing with that, but that's okay because you're not going to for very much longer. Thanks so much, group 2. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 3. We have our beautiful Sardonyx, the number 3, and then this lovely angel deck. Let's take a look at next year, shall we? Well, the wrap up of this year into next year, or really any transitional phase if you're watching this after it's been up for a minute. Lessons from this situation this year so far. Ooh, we have awakening. So what you're carrying with you from this transition period into the next. We have a temporary pause for reflection and insight, an awakening where you see things in a whole new light, embrace your own uniqueness, and charitable actions. If you are familiar with traditional tarot cards, this would be the Hangman. So this is taking a moment of pause, but it's almost like a silly moment. It's almost like you have like this fork in the road. We have directions to go, but you know what? We're just going to enjoy this moment. We're going to enjoy the journey. We know that the destination, it's going to get here at some point. So I just kind of feel like the next 2 months or so is you know, we're looking at things from a new perspective as well. So take a look, dip into the past. What have you been doing the past couple months, or 10 months, past 10 months? What were your goals, you know, going into those 10 months? What have you accomplished? What have you not accomplished? Where do you want to go with it? Because we're picking a direction, but we're being very strategic about it. We're allowing the direction to unfold, and having fun with it as well. So remember, this is fun. And allow that joy to kind of come through. Meditation can be important. This is Archangel Chamuel, by the way, if you're looking for angels to work with. Awakening, though, is a major arcana card. So sometimes we feel like we're trying to move forward and we just can't, and we're hitting road stops or, you know, blockades, and it's almost like I feel like the universe is just saying, hey, sit tight, calm down, relax. We're going to allow things to unfold. And what can you expect then next year? What can we expect? What do you have looking forward? I love it. I'm laughing because I love it. We have the Star card. Beautiful, amazing, shoot for the stars. In this moment of pause, like think of all of the grandiose, the biggest plans that you can think of. Like put it out there. It's time to go for it. Almost like a naivete, I think, but it's just like the star is that the air has been cleared, things have been moved, it's open to you now, it's available to you now. Have faith in the future, it's bright, dreams come true, positive changes that bring an end to challenging times, the light at the end of the tunnel. We also have a balance here between, because our star card, she's got one foot on the shore, 1 foot in the water. So sometimes we feel like we're balancing some things out. Very interesting. I don't necessarily see this in the star card, but a lot of Aquarius energy, really, the water bearer. So, which is interesting because that's kind of like the time frame. You know, Aquarius is what, the end of January, beginning of February. So I feel like you really hit your stride at that time frame of like, whoa, like, whoa. Like, I just, I have this like exuberance and excitement coming out right now. I just feel like you're seeing possibilities and opening up and really getting excited about things, but excited because these possibilities that you've been dreaming of start to become reality. This is also Archangel Jophiel, so if you're interested in any of these angels, or if one of these cards pops out for you and I mention an archangel, you might want to consider working with that angel over the next year. An obstacle. So what would be an obstacle to the, you know, having the year of the star? And we get the Four of Wands, the Four of Fire. So this is a beautiful card. Fours talk about stability, wands, fire, energy, passion, and this card is so much to celebrate, send gratitude to divine and the angels for the peace and prosperity coming to you, peace and contentment in your personal life. I almost feel like not embracing the peace, not embracing the love, not believing in it would be that obstacle. The other thing is, the reason I'm pulling this out here is Archangel Jophiel again. So allowing that beauty, that possibility. Sometimes we get imposter syndrome where when beautiful things come in, we like stifle it. We don't feel like we're worthy of it. And just in this awakening period, in this time period right now, get that right in your head so that when it starts coming, that you knew it was coming and you allow it to come. Don't get in your own way. Strength. The strength for the next year. We get 3 of Cups. So friends coming out of the woodwork, having fun with friends. This is Archangel Uriel with the U here. So I'm just throwing those out there. I'm not really going in depth with the angels because I didn't on the other readings, but since this is something with this particular deck, I'm just letting you know what archangels are showing up in this reading in case you're interested in working with them. News worth celebrating, so a lot of celebration here for the next year. Joyful announcements like engagements, weddings, pregnancy, or graduation. A time for gratitude, close communities, or chosen families. This is, but you're not doing it alone. You're doing it with other people, with your friends, with your family. I really feel like it's not just a you thing here, that the people around you are really doing well too, that there's a lot to celebrate and a lot of fun and joy. Like I said, with this awakening, I almost felt like that joy and exuberance, and then we get the Four of Wands and the Three of Cups. Cups cards too, like I don't think we got a Cups card so far in any of these readings. Cups cards are about emotions. They're about love and joy, but then these hope and joy is really what's coming through for you, group 3. So I love that. Any advice? We have the Six of Pentacles. Wow, this is really great. This is like paying it forward. This is and I love that we have the Three of Cups here. This is that joy. This is that reciprocal energy, that things like when whatever you're putting out and giving out into the universe, or to your friends, or to your family, or to your lover, that's coming back to you. The good you do comes back to you. An unexplained inflow of abundance, borrowing wisely or paying off a debt, sharing your wealth with others less fortunate. So this is also like a reminder that as you are doing really well, to make sure that, you know, if you have any back credit card debt, student loans, things like that, to make sure you pay those back, and to do it with joy. Like there's I think it's Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. It's an older book. I love it. It's pretty amazing. So it's interesting that it's coming up here, that, you know, so many times we get into debt and we owe things on a credit card, and then we get angry and down about those debts. But in reality, we should be happy when we're paying those back, because the money that we spent towards that thing that we got, or education, like we should be grateful for that. Otherwise, why did we spend the money in the first place? And when we shift our mood to one of gratitude, like I've done this before, it's really interesting how this happens. Like I get bill in and I'll be like, I'll write on the envelope, I'm so thankful that this is paid now in full, and I'm so thankful for this bill because, you know, my dinner was on it or something. We went out to dinner with friends, and I'll think about the joy I had in spending that money, and what that means, and why I love it, and then all of a sudden it's like amazing how the money just materializes to pay for that bill. So this is, you know, as you're spending money, I mean, we all know, like, those miserly people are not happy spending money at all. Well, then what's the point? So this is having that joy and love for others, and just really, even though you may feel like very singular right now, because like the Hangman almost feels alone. Like going into this next year, I just really see a lot of people around you, and good people too. Like people who will loan you money, people who will come and help you move, because you would put that out for them. You would put the effort out to them. So that's the important thing, that sticking point, that you are there to help them. And then anything that can help you navigate this next year. And we get, ooh, Wise Counselor. Very interesting that we get this one as well. If you're, again, this card and this card have been renamed in this deck. This is the Hierophant. Hierophant is often known as kind of like the Pope card. He looks like the Pope standing in front of people. I love this interpretation of it because it's like a guru, a teacher, somebody who is there to teach us something, and it doesn't always have to have that religious connotation for it. So unity with spiritually minded community. Ask the divine for help and trust the answers will come. Compare traditional methods with new ideas to see which one is best. And yeah, this is a card about tradition. This is a card about like, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. But you know, with these two cards and this very energy that's very strong, that's anchored in other people, gatherings, I feel like there might be a ton of weddings that you're attending, or graduations or baby showers, or just events that keep coming up within your community, because I feel like there's a lot of community building here for the next year that's coming up, and a lot of unity with other people. I feel like there are the other thing that I see when we get this card is seekers, somebody who's looking for answers. They find that person, that guru that can help them through that leader, that religious leader, that teacher that can help them through that. But also then, because you've been seeking for answers and looking for those things and finding those things, then you become the guru as well. So I feel like there's a transformation over the next year of this really fun type of bubbly new energy, to where you are really standing out as somebody who people can come to for help and advice. And that kind of goes back to this Six of Pentacles too, this like very, I'm seeing the, and I'm drawing it out here with this, the infinity symbol, this very reciprocal energy, which comes around, goes around type of energy that's coming for you. This is Archangel Sandalphon. This Archangel Sandalphon is said to be the tallest of the archangels. Like, his feet are here on the ground, his head is in the heavens, and he is somebody who can carry a message for you. He's kind of like the mailman of archangels, that sometimes if you feel like your prayers haven't been answered, you pray to Sandalphon. So it's kind of like, you know, he can help carry your message. But sometimes we look in a spot for something and don't quite find what we're looking for, and so we keep looking until we find where we can get that help. And so yeah, that help over the next year, I just feel like but there's a lot of fun and a lot of joy and a lot of involvement with other people. So when you see a gathering come up, I hope that you're saying yes and getting together with other people. I feel like it's so much more than what it seems to be. So like, yes, it's you know, your friend's wedding, and that's great. You want to be there to support them. But the value that you get out of it, that connection, that energy, and then the where you're meeting other people, like it just, you know, it carries itself. It's almost exponential as to, it's not even really about your friends. Like, you're almost getting more out of that situation than they are. So say yes to those situations, and I just really feel like this huge growth in you, especially socially, especially, you know, in the heart. Like, I'm really feeling it in the heart. There is going to be some, we get the Six of Pentacles here. There's going to be some growth here in the financial realm as well. And again, though, that is part of, that's what grows with your connections, that network of people. And then this JE, that would be Archangel Jophiel? No, Jermiel. So this is Jophiel. You got two Jophiel cards. We got Archangel Shamuel, Archangel Sandalphon, and Archangel Jermiel, Jeremiel. So if any of those kind of energies call to you and you're interested in working with angels, I will just look them up. You can pray to them, you can write to them, they can help you out with, and Uriel, with any situation that you find challenging. Because even though this is like so beautiful and so amazing, you know, we're always going to have like doubts or questions, or we're going to need some help through some things, some challenging times. Probably Sandalphon would be a good one as well to help carry that message to the universe, to help you with expansion of your understanding of yourself and of others. But this is a very beautiful reading, Group 3. I hope that you have an amazing day, amazing next couple of months, and let's start the next year off right. Thanks so much. Hello, Group 4. If you chose this beautiful tree agate, the number 4, you just like the look of this deck, welcome, whatever reason you're here. Thanks for being here. Let's take a look at wrapping up this time period right now and moving into our next phase. So if you're watching when I'm uploading, that is the next 2 months wrap up and into 2024, the next year. So first of all, we want to talk about the lessons learned, and it looks like financial lessons here. Lessons learned over this time period that we're in right now, and what we need to take from it to, you know, really expand and grow in the next year. And we have the 9 of Pentacles, but the 9 of Pentacles comes out in reverse. It feels like you really need to concentrate on your personal finances. That you know, the 9 of Pentacles is somebody who has created wealth and abundance. I almost feel like sometimes we hit an obstacle and then we think, oh, you know, that's not for us. You know, everybody's having challenging times, especially in this instance, and I almost feel like it's more of a keep going kind of energy. If your goal is to become like an entrepreneur, it just has not come out for you yet. I think it's a moment where you need to sit down and think about your financial goals. I think you need to put some, you know, think about what your actual goals are. Put a pen to paper, write those down, become one with them, figure it out, and then that's where you can start making plans and moving forward. I almost feel like we're moving from an area or a period of survival to thriving. So we're going from just surviving to thriving. And we need to think about the things that need to happen right now while we're surviving, and then where you want to see yourself thrive. And it doesn't have to be financial, however, this is coming out as financial. It can be, you know, in the area of love, it can be in the area of your home, it can be in the area of, you know, even in the area of like your body. For instance, if you have like a body goal, maybe you want to become a bodybuilder, maybe you want to do more in yoga, that kind of thing. So it can be something like, you know, I want my own business where I run a multi-million-dollar company from my home from my pajamas, and I know people who do that, so it's possible. Or it can just be like, I want to lose 30 pounds, or I want to become healthier, or I want my home to be feng shui. So Pentacles is something that you can touch, taste, feel, your vehicle maybe. So your body, money, your home, your vehicle, those physical things around you, something is not quite right with it. We need to figure it out, what that is, so that we can move forward with a plan. So that's okay. It's okay. Think about what has not gone right, and or maybe even what has gone right. Have you given up too early on something? Have you not given something enough time? Do you think if there was a different climate or a different support system around you that it would go differently? So this is the time to start thinking about those types of things so that we can move forward within the next year. So what can you expect next year then? What can we expect next year? We have the Hanged Man. The Hangman is actually kind of like a misunderstood card. The Hangman kind of flips things upside down. I mean, our person is upside down here. I feel like this is, it's also, the Hangman appears to be standing still, stagnant. Going into next year, I do feel like we still have a little bit of stagnant energy. However, the Hangman is here on purpose. There's a reason to it. We have a fork in the road. We are looking at our options, and we are not in the same energy that we were before, because we're looking at it from a different perspective. Maybe we're looking at it from the perspective of a billionaire. Maybe we're looking at it from a perspective, basically we can spend this time in meditation or in planning, going through different strategies and looking at it from a different way. Sometimes we feel like we know what's going on and we really don't. And the Hangman is where we discover that. Have you ever seen Undercover Boss? It's a show where a CEO of a company, many times a company that this person has built themselves, they go undercover. They're like, they work in security, they work they go into like the lowest jobs, and they look at their business from different perspectives, and that really helps them to gauge the health of their business and the direction of their business, and then also to value the people around them as well. And when I see the Hangman, it often reminds me of that, because it's almost like a ground up approach to what is going on and how we can see it from a different perspective. I think a lot of times when we have perspective cards, it's like a giraffe, or some of my other cards, they might be somebody in a hot air balloon, like they're looking at it, and that's a good perspective as well, because it shows us a lot of times that the things that we worry about or complain about are so insignificant and small, and it can kind of show us where we need to put our energy, where we're going to get the biggest bang for our buck kind of thing. But the key to this Hangman is you're the one who controls it. Meditation is important. You're the one who is, I wouldn't say holding yourself back, but you're the one who is dictating the terms of this break. I also want to say that in like bodybuilding, I know that kind of came up, and I threw it out there a little bit here in the Nine of Pentacles, but if you're building a muscle and you're lifting weights and you're lifting heavy weights, what happens to your muscle, and the reason that it gets tired, is there happens to be like these little micro tears that happen in that muscle. So when you are bodybuilding, yes, of course you're lifting weights, but the actual growth of that muscle occurs when you are sitting still. The actual growth occurs when there is a rest, and that muscle is at rest, because then that the nutrients come into that muscle and they go and build it and they make it bigger. So just because you might be in a moment of rest doesn't mean that there's nothing happening. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. So I almost feel like there's a little bit of I don't want to say anxiety, but concern over that things aren't moving or progressing fast enough for you. Obstacle. What can be an obstacle to you achieving anything and everything that you want? And we get the Lovers, but we have the Lovers reversed. So of course, the Lovers is about, two people coming together and that love, but it's also, many ways I see it, is an evolution. Lovers is related to Gemini, it's related to communication. So this could be that you're not letting other people know what your goals are. And it's important to really have them defined before we throw them out there for prime time, before we let other people know what our goals are. Because a lot of times, how we show up in other people's minds is not the way that we, want to progress in our life. Or you can kind of shock people sometimes. You can just say, throw something out there and it's shocking to them. They've never seen you in that way, or their worldview is so small that they don't think that what you want is even an option or available to anyone, let alone to you. So this is why I just feel like communication is important, because okay. Lovers is about communication. We have it in reverse. This is about an obstacle. So if you're not letting people know what you want to do, where you want to go, it's not going to happen for you. However, you have to have a well-defined version of yourself, a well-defined image of yourself, because when you start communicating things, and this is why a lot of people keep things close to the vest, and a lot of advice is like, keep it close to the vest, don't tell other people, because other people like to rain on your parade. They don't even know it sometimes. They just have like this shocked reaction, like, why would you want to do that? I don't understand that. And instead of saying that I don't understand that, it comes like, you can't do that, when absolutely you can. So you just have to be careful who you're communicating to, though. There might be people who are jealous of you, and it comes, it manifests out in not the most positive way. So I'm just letting you know that when you're communicating your ideas, you have to be careful. However, if you don't communicate them, you're not going to find the people who can help you, who can push it forward. My husband is actually a master at this, but he doesn't care. Like, he will go up and tell anybody anything. He doesn't care if they're jealous, or he understands that some of the backlash that he gets is because somebody is jealous, and then you just have to go, oh, that's not my person, they can't help me. But inevitably, like, he's amazing at networking, and I just feel like networking can be really important for you, and in this evolution up. I mentioned that I see the Lovers as an evolution. Many times the Lovers is depicted as Adam and Eve, and this is when they get kicked out of the Garden of Eden. What happens, or the psychological thing about that story, is the difference between humans and animals is we wake up and we realize that there is a future. I feel like you're realizing there's a future here, that there's a retirement that you want to save for, that there is a business that you want to accomplish, there's things that you want to do. And it's that idea, like, the children have the mentality of, they don't need to necessarily work hard right now, or they don't understand that in winter things don't grow. But, as we get older and experience, like, animals don't understand that. They may do, like, bears kind of get it. They'll go into hibernation, so they'll gorge themselves now, but they're not necessarily planning for the future. They're not out there planting crops so that when they come out of hibernation, they have something to eat. They just kind of float along and allow the world to put itself into an organization. I know this is getting really, really deep here for you, Group 4, but this is about you planning for your future. This is you coming to a realization and upgrading consciousness of like, hey, I need to do something here to plan for my future. I'm not quite sure what that is yet, but if I spend some time thinking about it, I know that I'm going to come up with some plans. Maybe my first plans aren't going to be great, and that's okay. I just need to keep going and keep evolving. A strength of yours. What is a strength for Group 4? We have the Artist. So a strength of yours is creation. A strength of yours is making things and that might be, I do feel like there's some jealousy towards you from others. And because I think that you are able to, or whatever that is, whatever that skill set is that you have for yourself, or seeing the world in a very different way than other people see it. I feel like the Hanged Man is part of the journey and understanding that not everybody is going to be on the same page as you, and that's okay. Hold tight and hold true to your vision. Any advice that we have here for group 4? Advice. Keep going. We have death. So death is about change, but death comes out in reverse. So it's not over. It's not over till it's over. And time marches on, and we have to keep going. Death is like those changes that occur, and they just are out of our control. And there's nothing we can do about it but kind of accept it and move on. Like death, it's inevitable, it's going to happen. But when we have it in reverse here, I feel like it is saying, keep going, keep pushing forward, keep true to your vision, and you are the one who's in control of your destiny. And then one last card, and we get the 8 of Cups reversed. This is your navigation. Same message as with that last one. Keep going. 8 of Cups is about our emotions. Cups can be about heartbreak. The 8 of Cups, the 9 of Cups is the wish card. So this 8 of Cups is like, I'm done with what's going on here. I'm going to go and climb this mountain and find that 9 of Cups. I feel like there's another way to get to that wish card, to get to anything and everything that you could ever want, which is the 9 of Cups. And that is, instead of abandoning where you are and leaving the situation, it is a keep going type of energy. It's really interesting that it's like, keep at it, keep going, you're on to something. Keep your vision. And look at, of all these cards, the only one, well, Hangman is upright, even though he looks like he's in reverse. The Hangman and the Artist, they're in the upright. So get yourself right, get your mind right, hold that vision, believe in yourself when others do not. And then we get the 8 of Wands. It's so interesting that this comes in here. It might be a slow grind for you. Sometimes when things don't happen quickly, when they don't happen swiftly, when they seem stagnant, we kind of lose our passion around it. And this is all about keep going, group 4. It's all about keep going and believe in yourself. And that's what I have, and I will see you in the next reading.